open the floor to questions and answers. So please feel free to ask any question whatsoever. Priyanka will bring you the mic. Priyanka, are you ready?
Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Pranam Swamiji.
You should have been ready, Rajneesh.
It's too modern, you see. Let's go ahead.
That's okay. I have a couple of questions.
Mm-hmm.
How do we handle probably wrongly perceived conflict between the attainment of worldly goals as a householder and developing a samadhan state of mind?
Mm-hmm.
First, to understand that there is no disharmony or contradiction having those two before your view. Samadhana state is your ideal. Samadhana state is like the sky. Handling practical reality is the means to that attainment. In other words, the way you handle your practical reality, that is intimately related to your attainment. God within you is working in two ways, allowing you to have self-effort. He watches you to see you struggling, like a mother watches a child struggling. And in that process of watching sees where the defect is, where the nourishment has to be given in a special way. In other words, always have a spirit of surrender to God, even though I'm struggling to know what to do in the practical world. Yet there is a divine hand. So behind all that, you are not lost. You are in the arms of the mother is struggling to differentiate between her nose and her eyes. I'm giving a joke. That spirit of surrender has to go on developing more and more. When you miss it, then your mind gets in turmoil. But that even turmoil is permitted by God according to your need of evolution. So that also has to be understood. To surrender means you have to understand every experience, no matter how frustrating or bitter it may be, has been designed in a way that is suitable for your spiritual advancement. However, it never gives you the license to turn towards negative, to hurt others, or to justify planning something in a tamasic way. You have been given a flashlight and always use it.
I have a second question, what do you recommend specifically to reduce our intense identity with the body?
To be healthy. Keep your body normalized day by day to the extent possible. It's a relaxed mind. God has given you the body. Kabira writes in one of the poems that I have kept my body perfect, and so I'm ready to give it to the Creator. So that ideal has to be kept. And Once that is there, mind goes on working in a profounder way. If the mind has caught hold of something profound, then the body has been utilized, its purpose has been fulfilled. Automatically the body idea moves away. It's like a bird on a tree, which implies if the tree is the body, the bird has been enjoying the tree. But at the same time, internally, it knows it can fly. It's not confined to the tree. So you are enjoying the body, mind, and all the limitations of the world. But that is like a tree. The spirit within you, like a swan. Surrender to God goes on giving you that subtle insight and subtle support. Day by day, you move away from the body and you are very joyous in deep sleep. But when the mind were to work with death, it becomes very serious matter, a shocking situation. The purpose of spirituality to allow your mind to handle that in a profound way. As sleep is needed, so is death needed for the soul in the process of its evolution. And the goal is to have sleepless sleep. In other words, you are neither sleeping nor dying, you are transcendental sleep, always in the milky ocean, hearing all the snakes around you. That's a good joke. The main point is you become the sky sustaining the clouds. That's liberation state. That goal is always have to be kept before your mind. That's the purpose of Brahma Bindu. Brahman is the Bindu, pole star. So no matter how far you may be from the goal, and no matter how the mind may give you the idea of either weakness or strength, all that doesn't count much. Your movement in day-to-day life, remember, is of that parrot, the sparrow. So don't count upon intensity of your movement. Just stay a parrot, or rather stay a sparrow, just draining the world process with a little straw. But your formula is invoking God along with it. Garudaya Namah, Om Namo Narayanaya. Day by day. That's where and then we leave it in divine hands. You've taken care of a planting of a tree and everything has been given to it. Now let it flourish by itself.
Yesterday you mentioned the concept of God giving you a thermometer, and I feel like I missed part of the message, and I was wondering if you could elaborate on that.
God gives you what?
A thermometer.
Mm-hmm. That's your conscience.
Okay. And is it more, does it give you more direction than that? I guess I felt like you indicated that it gives you more sense of direction. Not just what's right and wrong, but where to go.
When you are harmonized and doing well, you feel it. In every level, if you are healthy, you feel hunger. If you have real hunger, you know that it is what you are going to eat will be nourishing for you. In the same way, there is a sense deep down that you are hungry for God's love. And that different things in the world Consider like a big dish of some pickles, some sweets, good and bad, sweet and bitter. They are all designed to help you towards God realization. And your own instinct, now instinct has become little charged with spirituality. That's the difference. Normal instinct is not so keen. That's keen with the birds and animals. The human instinct needs to pass through reason and turn into intuitive level. All that you have to work upon. But the simple answer is, spirit of surrender, continue to build up surrender to God. And challenging situations, learn the art of holding on to faith and surviving the situation. Each time you emerge out of a negative situation, you find you are stronger than before. And sometimes you may even assert how wonderful that I passed through it. Many people become very proud. They write books about it.
Swamiji, you mentioned again today fear as one of the questions. How can you deal with fear when you don't really know what the fear is about? When there is like a cloud, but you cannot put a name to that cloud, but it feels like fear.
What does a child do? He sees the world full of fear. The child cries at the mother, scolds her. Why you left me behind? Mother comes, lifts the child. What happens to fear? Fear has to be dealt with that sense of surrender to God. But this drama has to be enacted day by day. It is not one day's job. Attaining liberation is not one day's job. It is day by day. Day by day you repeat your mantras. Day by day say to yourself, oh God, I am surrendering to you. You are my mother. With your 1,000 arms of love you enfold me. And you are good at word level. Allow the feeling to move towards it. And go on working upon it. Then gradually you will find that there are fearful situations and you overcame them. Then you understand the divine hand has been guiding you. Hanuman was there, helping you. So the more you discover that by your own experience, greater is your faith and inner strength. And that becomes your guideline. Since you understand that you have succeeded in the past, the success will lead you to greater success. All the problem doesn't go away at once. Gradually you move away from fear to fearlessness. From a dense cloud to thin cloud and then to beyond cloud. Okay.
Swamiji, you mentioned the struggle of trying to with the mind, control the mind, and Dharma, I believe it was. And sometimes, and you mentioned sometimes you make progress in small things and you sometimes spiral down again. And this can happen many, many times, and there's a sense of being tired sometimes. You have this, and then I tell myself it's foolish because this is just one of many lifetimes. So but is the tiredness itself an illusion? that you should ignore it, or is it a test of some other kind that I...
It is an illusion. But ignore it, but while you ignore it, use your intellect how to handle it. So you first ask yourself, is this tiredness related to my body? Something I ate? Or is this tiredness related to something I did excessively, too much work? Or I entered into unnecessary, it's a wrong association. So avoid those things. Figure out what type of association will negate it and gives you a special feeling of energy. But one thing for certain, you are going to get out of it. Because that point is the Brahma Bindu. No matter how you are, you have no other choice but to come back to your essential nature.
Swami, this is the second time I came to your place.
Mhm.
Um, Regarding this spirituality, like I was not really into it. Like I started working on it like 6 months ago. I started reading Swami Vidyāknowledge work a little bit, and my friend told me to come here and talk to you. So one thing I'm really confused about this mind and the soul. How they are interconnected? Like it is being used interchangeably a lot of times. Like I'm seeing like a lot of places. Little bit. I was hurrying to come here, so I'm reading little. So how they are being interchangeably used all the time? Like
One thing you have to understand, you are working through your mind.
okay.
And you know that mind is something you are handling. But he who is handling is the soul. That which you are handling is your mind. So there is always possibility for you to adjust your mind. You can make your mind distracted, you can make your mind more cultured, you can make your mind filled with negative things over time. And also when you work with your mind, there are different levels of the mind. Conscious mind, subconscious mind. Certain things you do day to day and they enter into your unconscious in the form of impressions. So if you are handling your mind, then you have to take care of all those points. Simply because one day your mind is full of joy and all that doesn't mean that you have controlled your mind. Therefore, if mental moods vary, you need to detach. You need to get more insight into it. That's the subject of psychology as well. But normal psychology doesn't give you the profounder point, the point of the soul. It teaches you how to handle the mind the best way you can. But spiritually gives you how to handle the mind and get out of it. Transcend the mind. To understand mind is not something that is confined to your nervous system. It's a universal source working through your personality. Therefore, your mind has an amazing capacity to draw from the universal, which normal psychology doesn't have the idea about. Universal backing within you. And mind can draw from the universal by japa, prayer, meditation, and can transcend the body and its limitations. Get more and more involved.
Great pleasure to be here. Wonderful. Question I have is, everybody does certain kind of abhyasa in their practice and evolution. How it should be evaluated, or how to determine whatever you are doing is the right thing, there is a need for change or not, or whatever inspiration you get, you pursue those things to the best of your dedication and faith. Which way one should do, whether to make an evaluation or even think about it, or just continue what you're doing.
It all depends on different levels. But the basic answer is follow your own inner insight. And don't let your mind go after evaluating others. How will they follow? That same principle applies. Everyone. Even if the person is apparently moving in a wrong way, he has to get a certain experience by that movement. So your mind has to be detached from others. Unless you are giving advice to them, then you do the best. But regards yourself, your own mind has the potentiality to judge and to see the difference between superficial and profounder. That inner taste is there, that cannot be given, just like even with food, what you should eat, how much you should eat. See, nobody can, even the parents, loving children, cannot exactly dictate what you should eat. It has to come from within. And that will come, and that you shouldn't doubt, because that is the only way God guides you, by your own inner instinct, the inner voice. And one should simply develop a sense of surrender. Never develop the idea, am I doing wrong? I should have done right. Past is past. Don't worry about the past, bhoot. The present you utilize the best you can. And leave the future for God to unfold. And your own intellect goes on building up Vivek Shakti. You are guided, and your guidance that comes to you through yourself is actually guidance from God. Okay. Now we are turning to the scripture. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunat Sahaviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavadhitamas Ma Vidvishavai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In 16th mantra, Shabdaksharam Param Brahma Yasmin Kshineya Daksharam Tadvidvanaksharam Dhyayet Yadi Chet Shanti Matmanaha. The sound symbol of Brahman, Om, is Akshara. Akshara literally, kshara means that which is perishable. Akshara means that which is eternal. And the sound symbol of that Akshara Brahman is Om. Parabrahman is also Akshara. Om is in literature, Sanskrit literature. Every letter is called Akshara. So Om, from that point of view, is Akshara, one of the letters, the syllable. But lift your mind to another level. Akshara in its essential, in its broader implication is Brahman. Through letters, your mind is led to realization of Brahman. All scriptures are words. Those words are numerous. Out of all the countless words, Om becomes the essence. Because when you say Om, you have said everything. With A, you open your throat. With M, lips close. All your vocal range is utilized when you have said Om. All different expressions of your talk are confined to these two terminals, the throat and the lips. Therefore, even from a practical point of view, you enter into a crowd and lot of sound going on. The person says, Om, especially in satsang, they all calm down. The instrumental method is bell. Ring the bell. So these are certain details. But the idea here is that Om becomes the mantra. It is the mother of all mantras. Any mantra you adopt, it begins with Om. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Shri Ramaya Namah, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namah. Om is this basis. Om is complete mantra. But it is being profound, it is extended into your Ishtadevata, Rama, Krishna, Devi. And already I have explained to you what Om implies. Om is beckoning your mind to Brahman. One simple point that reminds you of Brahman is Nam Japa. From ancient time, crowds of people approaching sages, wanting for advice. Their one simple advice, Nam Japa. Ram Nam Japana or Sab Sapana. Turn your mind to Rama, God. Let all things move away like dream. In a quick advising process, what else can you do? And that's the best advice. Once your mind sticks to Ram or any divine name, you have found the path that will lead you to liberation. राम नाम मणि दीप धरु जी है देहरी द्वार तुलसी अंतर बाहरहु जो चाहसी उजियार. Place Lord Rama on the threshold of your tongue. The tongue becomes the threshold between your inner world and the outer world. And you place Rama, the light, If you want to have light inside the room and outside the room, then you place the light in between the inside and the outside at the threshold. What does the light do? It illumines the outside. It does illumine the inside. As japa continues, you are having two forms of illumination. Illumination about yourself, who you are. You are beyond body, mind, intellect. God is within you. And what the world is, behind the names and forms, how divine intelligence, divine wisdom, divine presence is sustaining all. Even every leaf is sustained by His hand. Even cobwebs and little spiders in it. Big storm comes and a whole corner of a building breaks, taken away miles. And the scorpion family is perfectly safe. The world is, that Ram Nam that you are repeating enables you to see that. You see a divine purpose, a divine hand. You don't live in a world with constant fear. Live in a world with enormous presence that enfolds you. So that's what we call external illumination. Internal illumination, until there is neither external nor internal. The mantra has led you to absolute. But this needs to be practiced day by day. Japa becomes the central guiding light. If nothing is understood by you, just follow japa. You repeat the mantra. If you have no other mantra, then Om Om. Otherwise, extend the Om to Ishta mantra, which facilitates the process. In a highly poetic way, it is allow the mantra to circulate in your blood, in your arteries, in your veins. Every cell within you should repeat mantra. Don't take it literally. Sound symbol of Brahman, Om. While the sound symbol subsides, all the scriptures and their teachings, they have to subside along with Om. The entire scriptural world moves away from you. Even the mantra quiets down. Because all these have been fingers pointing to God. As long as you have not turned your attention to God, the fingers go on directing your attention. Fingers are important. The scriptures are the best of fingers. They have lots of rings in them. And out of those fingers, a special finger arises, Om. But all these are beckoning fingers. Don't go on just staying with the fingers. As the mind moves on with the help of this indicating fingers of the scriptures, Arundhati Nyaya, you move away from, just to give you an episode or parable. Someone is being shown a particular star. One star, Arundhati, is intriguing star. Something simple, but forget about Arundhati. Suppose you are going shown pole star. So, tell your friend, do you see the pole star? I say, so many stars. What do you think of pole star? He says, all right. Do you see that particular tree? He said, oh yes. Do you see that particular branch that is going northward? He said, yes. Make a straight line up into the sky. Follow that. Now his hand rises up. And the person looks at his finger. Where did you get the ring? There's a humor about it, staying confined to the instructions. The whole purpose of the scripture is to show you beyond that which transcends all words. Remember, Mundaka Upanishad says, Pranavo Dhanu Sharo Hyatma Brahma Tallakshya Muchyate. Om is the bow. Your soul is the arrow. Brahman is the target. Apramattena vedhavyam sharavat tanmayo bhavet. Without procrastination, without any deviation, with keen attention, allow the arrow to hit the target. And when the arrow enters the target, you don't know where the arrow is. The target alone is there. So that is the subtle implications of the mantra Om and all mantras. Dve vidye veditavyetu Shabda Brahma param chayat Shabda Brahmani nishnata param Brahma digacchati. Two types of knowledge are worth acquiring. One is known as Shabda Brahman, which I have explained. This is all about japa and meditation on Om. Another is Para Brahman. The goal of Shabda Brahman is Para Brahman, the absolute self. Whoever is proficient in the knowledge of Shabda Brahman attains Para Brahman. The knowledge of Shabda Brahman, knowledge of mantra, knowledge of the name that I have explained, all the scriptural teachings, in order that you can experience all that the scriptures teach, your mind must merge in Brahman. It is further explained that knowledge is of two types. Paravidya, Aparavidya. Aparavidya relates to intellectual knowledge or knowledge relating to the world of practical reality, the world of triad. Seer, seen and sight. Aparavidya doesn't give you liberation. It gives you evolution. It gives you experience of heaven and keeps you in embodied state. Paravidya is explained, defined. What is that knowing which all is known? Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, all else shall be added unto you. What is that knowing which all is encompassed in that knowledge? And that's who am I, Brahman. Granthamabhyasya medhavi jnana vijnana tattvataha palalamiva dhanyarthi tyajet grantham asheshataha. An enlightened person equipped with knowledge and direct experience. Two terms are used, jnana, vijnana. Jnana is paroksha knowledge. Paroksha means indirect knowledge. All the knowledge that you experience through the senses is indirect. That's one aspect. Another aspect, all that you have studied about the scripture, about Brahman, about the soul, through the scriptures, the first stage your intellect grasps it. As intellect is grasping it, is acquiring indirect knowledge. But the indirect knowledge must open the door to intuitional knowledge. So as you go on grasping by your intellect, it is theory. It must become your practice. It must be assimilated. An ounce of practice becomes better than tons of theory. To give you a very simple illustration for indirect and direct knowledge, blind men are given the project of studying the elephant. And blind people, since they can't see the animal, put their hand and they write their thesis on this. The elephant is like a snake, or elephant like the winnowing fan, or elephant is a pillar, or elephant is a wall, or elephant is a broom. And the leader puts all this together and says elephant is fan, snake, wall, plus, plus, plus. Seems a childish description, but that's the predicament of knowledge, what to go through the universities. All types of knowledge that you have, history, geography, geology, astronomy, all that. All these are simply, you are trying to study the big elephant. And all these details that have been gathered, put them all together. There isn't a person who can know all that intellectually. That's impossible. But even if suppose he did, still that is not liberation. Liberation is very simple. One who is not blind looks at it. Oh, that's an elephant. So that's the big difference between the indirect knowledge and the direct knowledge. Therefore, indirect knowledge, what you read from the scriptures, need to be transformed into direct under the guidance of sages, saints, guru, etc. And when we begin to have direct knowledge, that also comes progressively, begins to have experience of samadhi, experience of different levels, then that's called vijnana in this context. Jnana is only intellectual. Vijnana, you are assimilating it. Medhavi, one who is profoundly wise, gains both type, jnana and vijnana. Palalamiva dhanyarthi, having realized the essence of the scriptures, must leave aside the scriptures completely, just as a farmer accepts the grains, leaves aside the husk. This point I have explained. When fingers are pointing to something, use the fingers. But once you have found what is being pointed out, don't go after the fingers. You are transcended. The scriptures pointed out to you the goal. Gavamaneka varnanam kshirasyapi eka varnata kshiravat pashyate jnanam linginastu gavam yatha. Cows have different colors, but their milk has one and the same color. There are different scriptures. The human people generally say, oh, there are so many scriptures, what should I do? There are so many religions, there are so many ways of moving to God. The answer is that yes, cows are many, they are different colors. But the milk has the same color. The essence of the scriptures is the same. For one who sees thus, jnana, like milk, is the same. While jnanis, people who teach scriptures, they are of different colors. It's also important to understand that teachers relate to different levels of aspirants, called adhikari bhed. All aspirants are not on the same level. Even in academic studies, you can't give advanced mathematics class to just primary students. So the same teacher who gave advanced mathematics, saying parallel lines never meet, comes to an ordinary class and says, oh, parallel lines. No, the advanced mathematics says parallel lines meet at infinity. In ordinary mathematics, they never meet. The same person who has taught meeting at infinity comes and says they never meet. A third person may have compounded both talks and said this person lies. There is an illustration of Buddha. His close disciple was always with him, Ananda was his name. And he saw one aspirant comes and Buddha says the entire world is illusory. The world is nothing but mind. Another disciple, Buddha said, mind is more real, but the world is also real. The third one, he says, yes, the world is most real in order to work upon your mind. And the disciple became confused, says, oh, Guru, why are you saying like that? And the fourth disciple, when he was brought, Buddha asked him, have you eaten your food? He said, I'm too hungry. Buddha said, eat. That's my instruction. So when you are giving instructions, you are giving according to the level of people. Therefore, different philosophical systems evolved in India. When you go after the system, it seems different from Advaita Vedanta says only Brahman alone is real. Then there is Vishishta Advaita. The world is also real, but the world is a part of Brahman. And then there is Dvaita Vedanta and so forth. Different teachings are given in order to appeal to different levels. The sages who gave them, they were all immersed in Brahman. Gritamiva payasi nigudham bhute bhute cha vasati vijnanam satatam manthayitabhyam manasa manthana bhutena. Just as ghee is hidden in milk, in the same way Brahman is hidden in all living beings. First example was given milk. Milk from all cows. All scriptures are giving the same milk. But you have to now churn that milk, or you have to draw from that milk ghee to nourish yourself. But in order to turn milk into ghee, it requires old style churning process. You extract butter, then you work with your butter, melt it. In other words, meditation, practice of sadhana, development of divine bhav, divine bhavana, all that is involved. When the mind is constantly churned by the practice of manana, reflection and inquiry, Brahma Gyan is attained. I have explained already, Shravana Manan Nidhyasan. Jnana netram samadaya chared vahni matah param nishkalam nirmalam shantam tad brahmaham iti smritam. Thus, having attained jnana drishti, intuitive vision, he should realize Brahman, who is effulgent like fire. He experiences thus, I am Brahman, who is indivisible, taintless and peaceful. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. That's the ultimate revelation. 4 Vedas bring out that revelation in 4 great utterances. Prajnanam Brahma. Brahman is pure awareness. That's one great utterance. Tattvamasi. Instruction. The Guru gives the instruction, thou art that. Aham Brahmasmi is Anusandhana Vakya. An aspirant works upon Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. And comes to the climax of that knowledge. I am Atma Brahman. This very self is Brahman. I have been Brahman all the time. Purnamada. I am Purna. And all that I have experienced and gone through is Purna. From full comes this full. Don't believe it, you are a fool. Sarvabhutadhivasam cha yadbhuteshu vasatyapi sarvanugraha katvena tadasmi aham vasudeva tadasmi aham vasudevam iti. This is the last mantra. He in whom all these beings abide, and he who abides in the heart of all beings, that's your reality. You are that Vasudeva, in whom all beings abide, past, present and future. In turn, you abide in all beings, who is well known for showering his bounteous grace on all. That innermost self in you, which enfolds the entire universe, is the boundless source of anugrah, grace. There is a constant divine pull, drawing souls out of illusion. And that pull is profound grace. Divine grace has no reasoning about it. You don't have to especially prepare yourself to receive that grace. You are enfolded by that grace all the time. It is divine grace that is guiding all the birds, animals. Divine grace that has guided you to exist in this brittle personality of body and mind and nervous system. It is divine grace that allows you to do so many things, amazing things. And it is divine grace that allows you to enter into satsanga, to gain insight into who am I, to develop a heart that offers prayers for the goodwill of all. I am that Vasudeva. I am that divine self. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Hunat Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamast Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Is the Atharva Veda Brahma Bindu Upanishad Samapta. Thus ends the Brahma Vindu Upanishad of Atharva Veda.
Somebody's chair from inside.
Okay, give me a moment, I'm coming back.
Yes, Swamiji.